Hey, YouTube. I'm gonna wait till more people come on. Wait a minute. What happened to the one person? Hey, Sally. I was waiting for people to come on. Hey, y'all. I'm back. I was looking at this thing called Designer. You can make ebooks and all these different kind of stuff. So that's part of my plan when I launch my business officially. So I'm just trying to create some ebooks. So I'm just learning how to do it so I could come up with different um plans for my business and then I'll launch it. Here's the lemonade that I made that I was talking about last night. Fresh lemonade from lemons and that pure sugar, cane sugar that I bought from the farmer's market. And to be honest, it's not as sweet as I thought it would be. Now I start to taste it a little bit. Earlier, it was like more of lemon, but it was more watered, put it that way. But I could taste a little bit of I could taste a little bit of the sweetness, but not too sweet. I guess when you buy that regular sugar from the bag versus pure cane sugar, it does taste a little bit different, you know. But it's not overly sweet, that's for sure. It tastes more water than I taste, and just a little hint of this lemon that I got in the cup, which I didn't cut down. It's like a big look. It's like a whole little lemon, but it's. I made it. I cut up about. Let me squeeze some. Mm-mm. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 lemons. I didn't cut them up real small, so pretty much I think once it kind of marinates in lemon, and I didn't squeeze all the juices, so it's more water than it is lemonade. So it's not overly sweet. It's not like that Chick-fil-A, you know. It's not like the Chick-fil-A where you put all that sugar in it. So I think it would do. I think it's more water than it is lemonade, but still, I think once that sugar starts to not dissolve, but because it's not settled, once it starts to sit for a minute, because I wish I could show y'all the little jar thing I got. I don't want to go downstairs and bring it just to show it. So, but maybe I'll just take a picture of it later on, put it as a thumbnail. I was going to do that, but my iPhone doesn't have a lot of storage left. I have to figure out how to delete a lot of things so I can start taking more pictures and film. So, anyways, how y'all doing today? Sally, who else is in here? I got it. The slow mode is on, so it says send message every 1 second. So let me go ahead and. All right, so as y'all can see from the title, Amazon Day 1. So as you know, tomorrow night I'll be going back to work. So sometime around this time tomorrow, I will be getting off my first break. The first break is like 8:30, and then you get like 15 minutes, and they give you extra 5 minutes. So I'll be back on the grind tomorrow. But Amazon always has this saying, every day is day one. So every day is day one at Amazon, even if you've been there. Hey, Vanny with Ida. Yeah, I just subscribed to your channel. I saw your you was recommended by what's her name? Someone else's channel. that I was watching. Hey, Romeo, that I was watching on the van. I can't remember her dang name. You sent her a gift a couple of weeks ago. Yep, Joy Route. Yep, I came across her channel somehow, and it's good to kind of follow up with new people because it gives you a more different perspective. So I've been trying to find different people channels to watch. So I came across her, and then I came across yours. So hopefully we'll grow together. But I enjoy your channel. I'm originally from New York, but I live here in Georgia since 1996. Prior to that, I lived in South Carolina where I went to school, and my family's from South Carolina. So it's been since 1991 since I've left New York. I lived in the Bronx. So it's been since 1990, 91, 87, 88, 89, 90. Yeah, it's been since 91, 92 since I've left New York. I miss it, though. I surely do. But when I go back to New York, it is so different what it used to be. It is not the same. It is like, ugh. It is like, ugh, so different. But of course, taking that number 5 train to up there I lived off of AD Avenue. My mother lived in the Bronx too before she moved out of New York almost 5 years ago now. I think it's been almost 5 years since my mother moved, Let me see. Yeah, I think it's been 5 years since my mother moved out of New York. Sold the house, bought another house in South Carolina. So there's really no reason for me to go back to New York to visit. And I mean, I still have relatives that live there, like cousins and stuff like that. But, in terms of like my mother, immediate family members, my sisters don't live in New York anymore. So it's kind of like, what reason is there for me to go back? Even though some of my cousins says you can still come and visit, you can come and visit us, but most of them, well, a lot of them don't even have a house. So if I go up there, if I go up to New York, I had to go up there and find me an Airbnb or something, or stay at a hotel. Mhm. I left Brooklyn. That's where I was born and raised. But Brooklyn never leaves me. That's sure. That's so true. Once you're a New Yorker, you always a New Yorker. Trust me. But that's not far. Being in New Jersey, you're just one state over. You could take the PATH train and go back to New York. When you leave New York, I mean, really leave the area, like including the tri state area too. A lot of people move to New Jersey. A lot of people move to New Jersey because it's a little bit cheaper than living in this Manhattan and Brooklyn, especially Brooklyn. But it always wasn't like that. I could tell you that. I lived in Brooklyn before I left New York. Technically, I lived in Brooklyn when I lived on my own. When I was living in LIU, they used to have a campus in downtown Brooklyn, and they had dorms, and anybody could live there if you was going to any school or college, and you just simply rent a dorm. And it was strictly for college students. It couldn't be just any old body. So I don't know if they still do that, but I was able to live in a dorm in LIU, Long Island University. I wasn't a student, but I was able to rent a room, a dorm, even though I was sharing a room with someone. But I don't think they do that anymore. I doubt it. I don't know. It depends. Right there up in Fort Greene. So, but I know Brooklyn, Harlem, and New York, it's going through its changes. I think they said Manhattan alone had so many people moved out of New York, particularly Manhattan, that the rent was going a little bit lower. Not cheap, but vacant. The vacancy was so high, especially a lot of people left because of the COVID. Everybody left because of the economy, job wise. Not to say that there wasn't any jobs. It was just um, it's like depending on what type of position or job or work that you do. Now, you still in IT, and they have plenty of positions openings in New York, Washington D.C. that a lot of people with those high end positions um, live in New York, but it's a different kind of vibe, I guess. Even that Donald Trump don't even move, and even Donald Trump didn't move back to New York. He moved up there to Florida, so even Donald Trump don't even have a residence in New York. So that's amazing. And he got the Trump Towers to live in. But even people who got money, even people who got money, um, move out of New York. So I don't know. I love Brooklyn. I do. I really do. I love those brownstones, and if I was able to buy property in Brooklyn, those brownstones when it was even Harlem, and even the Bronx for that matter. If I had property in New York, I probably would have stayed. I really would. If my mother didn't sell the house and she decided she was going to keep it, and then I was going to move back to New York and I would have a place to live rent free because the house was paid off in full. You can get away from bills. That's what's going to lead to my next discussion. I don't know if you do gig work, but I'm not talking about, the obvious ones like Uber Eats and Grubhub and food deliveries and driving people, but even doing YouTube is considered a gig. If you have a channel and you monetize rather, and you make some type of money on YouTube, I don't know because I'm not monetized. So there's some people they make their whole life income doing YouTube, and it takes a lot of work that I hear making videos, editing, and then growing your channel, um, getting sponsorships and all these kind of things. So it's like that's considered a gig. You know, you're an independent contractor if you're able to make your money from YouTube. And then there's people who use YouTube as a tool to use as a way to grow their business. Like I've seen people, they make videos, they do all this research about work from home jobs. They go on there. They're not doing live streaming a lot. They mostly tape the videos and they sell their services online, like coaching and making ebooks. Some people sell merch as they call it. And they make all these streams of income by going on YouTube. It's not the clicks and the views, because the more clicks and views is like not even, it's like a half a point, a half of a penny for every view. So it's like it's not coming from all the people watching. It comes from the in between commercials. Like when people watch my YouTube channel, I don't know because I haven't, and they have advertisements and people watch it. And even if they don't click on it, it's like the fact that you watch the channel, those AdSense, they call it. But, so I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain how people make money on YouTube, but most of the time it's really made through people selling merch and AdSense, which is very small. It ain't that big. It ain't that much. Because before they changed the rules 2 years ago, when I had when my channel grew last 2 years ago, when I was talking about the gig work, my experiences when I was doing Grubhub and stuff, and I was driving around, and you didn't have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I when I finally, oops, when I finally realized that you could make money on YouTube with the monetization, I was like, wait a minute, what's this? And I thought, because I've been on YouTube. It was like, I think it was 2011. If you go about me, it tells you when I joined 2011. That's what I think it was. And it was like one point I was looking at it. It said, "Oh, you've made $60 in revenue, but you had to have at least $100 to cash out." So when I had got all these subscribers, mostly 2 years ago, from the gig economy, doing Uber and all that stuff. And I had like, 700 something subscribed. Well, let me see. It was like 500 something, 600 something. And I was only gaining like $1 and something. And then when I got a sudden surge in subscribers and the AdSense, and I started making videos, especially when I was driving. It wasn't live stream. It was when I was driving and in the car, and people would watch me when I was driving, when I was in my car doing Grubhub or whatever, pick any of those apps. Then Amazon. Then Google sent me the information. Oh, then it made me really start doing videos to get to the $100 mark. And I said, let me see if this is for real. So when I finally got to that $100 mark 2 years ago, or almost a little bit over 2 years ago now, then I said, oh, it is true. I made the little monetization, got the $100, and then I think total that I made was, I think I made $200 with Google, because Google owns YouTube. I think that was it. Then after that, then they started changing up and said, oh, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 out. And there was a lot of people. They didn't have no 1,000 subscribers that was doing these gig work. They even got to the point they was making 5, 10 videos a day. I was like, God damn, I'm so tired of seeing you, And they were like begging for people to subscribe to get to that 1,000 mark before the deadline. And that's when a lot of people started having this big surge of viewships and things like that, because YouTube was really trying to get away from small channels. They were trying to focus more on these big channels because that's where they make their money. YouTube makes their money too. So, anyways, I know I saw Vanny. You had, you'll get there. Trust me. Especially when you start going on other people's channels and they start giving you shout outs. People, and you are got a very good spirit and heart. People would join. My channel probably that has not grown because, number one, I'm not really consistent of making YouTube channels and stuff. And then I guess my core channel of people at first was the gig work. You're welcome. It was the gig work. That's what drew people to my channel, because I kept it raw. I didn't edit nothing. I just spoke truth, because some people say, girl, you be so funny but I tried to do the taxes, talk about taxes and the gig economy. But I think if I really focus on, because I do have a second channel that I started, but I haven't been on there, and I wanted to brand my company or business with the YouTube channel. Not be like this. Not be so not in this way. So, but it'll take some time, I guess. It'll take time once I figure it out, start making videos, not have the background of my bedroom, because this is one of my bedrooms. You see, there's no bed in here because I changed it into another work area. So I have two work areas, this work area and then the other bedroom. When I go back to TurboTax, I have two rooms. So this is a room that I do business, and then I have a second bedroom that I do stuff too. So when I start doing TurboTax taxes and stuff, I'll have a laptop and I'll be doing work in the other room. Whereas this one, it's not going to be where I'm going to be doing work. Now I can do work in this one whole room exclusively because I do have another table, and it's a folding table. This is not even a regular table. This is a table. It's not even a desk. Not in this room. It's not a desk. So one day I'm gonna take these two folding tables because I have a TV on the other one that I don't even watch because I don't have cable anymore. So I'm gonna eventually probably just change this whole room and the other room into a formal looking office and just get me some official desks. Not on this folding table, and just take these two folding tables, put them right back in the garage, what is meant to be used for. But it's not supposed to be a working. It's not supposed to be a working table. It's not supposed to be a working desk. This is a table. So I had these folding tables because when I used to do demonstrations for different companies, those food demonstrations. And you're supposed to demonstrate different food. I would have to have a folding table with me when I go. So since I don't do any demonstration gigs anymore, because most of the time you have to have availability of Saturday and Sunday, and a lot of these companies, because of COVID, they don't do the demonstrations anymore. Where they mail me they tell me what the sample is, and I have to buy, a couple of samples from the Whole Food or wherever I'm going at, cut them up, demonstrate it. So since a lot of them haven't done that as much anymore, they will do survey. Okay, you a DJ and karaoke, but not for now. You should go ahead and redo it again. You'd be surprised. All right, y'all. Where else, y'all? 6 people in the room. I got 3 thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And I ain't gonna be on here long for real. I said that before. I ain't gonna be here for 3 hours like I did before. I had just I need to rest because Saturday morning comes and afternoon, because I forgot it's Saturday tomorrow, so I don't have to worry too much about traffic, like school traffic, because it's the weekend. So I try to leave the house around at least 4 o'clock because I take my time to get to work. And I got to get up in the morning, of course, eat breakfast, cook breakfast, do whatever, make my dinner or lunch. And so I got to make my dinner or lunch tomorrow. I'm going to steam broccoli, and I'm going to make me the salmon patties. The one at the can, make some salmon patties. I'm going to have salmon patties and broccoli. I'm going to have that so I can have that for my dinner tomorrow. I usually eat my dinner at 8:30ish because my first break is at 8:30. Lunch is at 11:25 p.m. And I'm not trying to eat that late at night, not like that. So So I said, since I'm gonna make that, it ain't gonna take me that long to make it, but that's what I'm gonna do late afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock, make that, prepare, make my little, prepare for my little snacks for the night. Because I work 6 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And since it's Saturday, it's the third day of the work week. So it's like, that's a Friday for me. But since I didn't go back to work, say Thursday when my work week started, and I work Saturday, knowing that at Saturday night or Sunday morning, when it's time to get off, I don't have to go back to work until the following Thursday. So it's nice sharing time with you too. I need some and being a subscriber. So thank you for subscribing to my channel. So Amazon, the first day is every day. If you've been there 2-3 years, they always say that. That's their little slogan, I guess. So when you walk into the building, any Amazon facility, you're always gonna see that. Your first day. So, and I did get paid today at Amazon. I can't seem to review my timesheet to see if that was for the bonus or was that for that short-term disability. I have a feeling that's my short-term disability. But so now I gotta go up there, complain about getting my $500 sign-on bonus, and I still didn't get it. But I showed two things I got paid. It was like 300 and something. I can't remember the exact amount. And then there was another amount that had 30 something dollars. And I said, where did this 30 something dollars came from? So it was two different things. So I'm gonna have to see exactly what that was and view the timesheet or view the pay stub with ADP. But I have a feeling that's probably the short-term disability pay, which is 60% of the pay. So I'll go ahead and review that once I get a hold. But thank you, Sally. I know last night, boy, I had those trolls in the room. Some of them probably was like, didn't feel that way. So I had to go off on some people with that foolishness. So am I looking forward to going back to work tomorrow? I would say yes or no. Yes, because I'm curious to see who's still there. And I'm quite sure most of the people still there, at least the ones on my little team. I don't think anybody would have gone anywhere. But I'd be surprised, but I don't know. I'm still getting these dang text messages about somebody got the COVID every day. Sometimes twice a day I get a message. Someone got diagnosed with COVID, so I don't know what's going on with that. I know one thing. I will be coming there with my mask. A mask. In fact, I'm going to wash my cloth mask, not these blue ones. I'm going to keep these, but I'm going to wear my black cloth Amazon mask. I need to wash that. So I could... Oh, that's okay, Sally. It was so late. I was on here almost 3 hours last night, so I didn't expect y'all to hang in there like that. The only person who was hanging in there was, at one time, was De Jour, but he came in late. And I don't know who the 4, 5, 6 people that was still watching, but they're probably the ones who never even comment anyway. But I know you'll be on here, Sally. Being the great moderator that you are. Making sure you keep the chat in line, because these people be, it was people I'd never even recognized the name. I was like, who the hell, it was people's names I didn't even know who they were. And who else was on here that was keeping it down? Not Crackhead Willie. Blue True was on, and who else was on here? that was keeping it down. These nuts. Yep. These nuts too. You kept it down. So you kept the check down with all those trolls that was coming in last night. Wait a minute, these nuts. I didn't make you a moderator. Let me see. Do you want to be a moderator? Well, I'm gonna make you a moderator. You a moderator. Why the little hammer didn't come next to you? I thought I put. Oops. Randy, I made you a moderator, but what happened? Hey, Blue True, I was just mentioning your name. Shoot, those trolls came on. These people coming on, they were saying all crazy stuff. Now, one guy, he came on real good at first, but then he started with the vaccine thing. But then when he said something about when they stop putting bricks, muffling your mouth on bricks, I was like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but like I said, people entitled to their opinions, people entitled to their thoughts about it, But when you start talking about the 14th Amendment and all, I'm like, that's when it gets a little bit, that really kind of makes me upset because people their reasoning is not making sense. And then when it ain't so much that it's not making sense, it's that it's not correct. That's the thing. You ain't gotta wear it, you ain't gotta take it or nothing, but don't bring up stuff, individual freedom and freedom of speech. I said that ain't got nothing to do with that. Health issues and a pandemic worldwide is not infringe on your rights, It's not. I'm sorry. It's just like with seatbelts. Seatbelts are required to be worn because it's supposed to protect the safety of you as well as others when you're driving a car. And that's not, people wanted to argue about the seatbelt issue when they first came out at first. They were bringing that same little silly argument about my freedom of speech, my freedom with the seatbelt. And it took, remember, it was in Vermont somewhere. And Vermont slogan has something to do with the freedom and stuff with their logo. Is it Vermont or Connecticut? One of those states. And when this lady, along with several people, died up there in Vermont with that major accident. And it had like people, she was driving it was like on a highway or something like that. This was so long ago. She was driving, ain't had no seatbelt on, and several people died because of this major accident, and it was like nationwide. And because of that accident that happened, that argument about freedom of choice and freedom of speech about the seatbelt became federal law. They didn't care nothing about what the state said and what the state argument was and people freedom. It took a major accident to happen for them to implement federal law with the seatbelt. It was no longer handled by the state. It was no handle. I got my choice. This is my car. I can wear a seatbelt if I want. It took a major accident for that to happen, for them to have this seatbelt law. Trust me. Look it up. I just can't remember the case, but I do remember that's what the reason was. It took something real serious, real major things to happen for them to implement it. And I don't want this thing to be a major thing to the point where something disastrous has to happen for people to finally say, you know what, the federal government going to have to step its foot down and finally, say bump it. This ain't got nothing to do with no freedom of speech and the 14th Amendment. You know, what is it going to take? What is it going to take? Hundreds and thousands and millions of children to die for them to take for this to be serious? That's what they're gonna do? Sacrificial lambs of babies and children for them to for it to be taken seriously? No, I don't think it needs to go that far. It don't. And people in the United States, in particular, is taking it too far. It's taking it too far. They thinking that, if it happened to a third world country or one poor country up in India, when this Delta, how that Delta thing was in India, and it was killing those millions and millions of people in India last year. And it was poor countries in India. People dying off the street. It was so bad. They had to burn the bodies. They couldn't even bury them properly. They had to do one massive grave to burn the bodies. And there were people like women, men, children, millions of people, as big as India is, like China with the with that billion dollars of billions of people in those countries. And people didn't, people look at it like, well, it's just because of some small third world country. It didn't make, people in the United States, they was like, okay, well, it didn't affect me. It was the Delta variant that was killing people like that last year in India. And they had India locked down. And it took millions of people to die. And then somehow, I don't know how the word it got over here in the United States. I remember they said it was like 10 people got Delta variant. Now, how this thing went from 10 people to all these people all across the country still got it. They had it was kind of a little bit under control at one point early in the year, because it's already gonna be October. It's almost the end of the year, y'all. Can you believe? Then my birthday be November. But can you believe it? At one point it was, they was like, oh, there was hope. It was going down, it was flattened. And next thing you know, people start arguing about masks, and they ain't wearing no mask, and I ain't taking no vaccine, and because at one point it was rolling. It was the beginning, December, January. It was given to those first responders and stuff like that. Then they opened it up to people at a certain age, and then they had it open up for everybody to take it. Sure, I ate that food. Let me tell you what I made today. And I'll make this point, and I ain't talking about it no more. So then after that, boom, what happened? So we'll see. We shall see. So anyway, so I had that y'all saw the video with the chicken, the rotisserie chicken at the Cal Farmers Market. Ooh, that thing was so delicious. So I end up deboning it. I didn't debone it all the way. It got a little bit. So I had started deboning it, chopping it up. I made me a quesadilla, even though it was kind of burnt. It probably was China somewhere. It probably was China where they did that. Hitting people with sticks. They supposed to be in the house, and they outside, and ooh, that's most likely China or India. Most likely China or Korea. It could be any one of those socialist countries, China or Korea. Probably China, because they had a lockdown. And people had to be in the house, and then if they got out the house, That probably was China. So one of those countries up in China. Yeah, so that's what I made with my with the rotisserie chicken. I chopped it up, put me some and then after that I said, dang it, I ain't put no jalapeno peppers in there. The jalapeno pepper was put in the freezer, and I was like I wasn't even trying to look in the freezer where it was. So I said, oh well, I guess I'll use those jalapeno peppers for something else. So that's what I did. I just took me some of that, cause ooh, that was so good. That rotisserie chicken at the Cab Farmers Market, they make all their stuff right there at this on the spot, and it was so seasoned well. You could tell it wasn't no chemical chicken. One of those got all these chemicals and stuff, and they roasted, rotisserie, and yeah, I'm trying to do things. I bought me some jalapeno peppers. I love me some jalapeno peppers and different peppers, but I didn't soup it up like I would have. So I had put me some Vidalia onion, chopped that up. Um, I didn't put no the chicken and I had some tomato and I chopped that up, put that on the stove. I almost burnt the dang spinach wrap. I was like, oh God, I said this thing burnt. It wasn't burnt, but so I just put some cheese, folded it over, cut it up in threes. It was supposed to be a quesadilla, but it looked like more. It tastes good too. It didn't look good. It tastes good. And so I just folded it over. I was gonna eat it here, but I ate that thing a couple of hours ago. So I made me a I call it quesadilla, but it's really not a quesadilla. Well, I guess you could say it's a quesadilla. Well, it was just spinach wrapped, folded over in a pan, get that little crust, and that was it. But it could have been better if I had some peppers in it, though. If I had some peppers in it, it would have tasted really good. But I was just so ready to eat. So that's what I made. I may try to make that tomorrow. If I have enough of that chicken, I think I have enough chicken in that, I could debone it and start taking off the rest of the meat. I know those cats gonna be happy to eat it because when I finish with that bones, I'll feed it to them. I know they'd be happy to eat that chicken bones and some of that chicken meat that's gonna be left over. They're gonna be happy to eat that when I once I finish deboning it. So rather than me disposing it, I don't just throw the chicken bones and all that stuff away. I let them eat it. I just go there and give it to them. They'll eat that chicken bones. They will eat that chicken bones and the little bit of meat that probably left on there. And they're gonna be real happy to eat that. Because going to these stores, they even running out of pet food and stuff. I mean, they don't have an abundance like they used to. If you can make quesadillas, you can make baruca empanadas. Yeah, I know you got a little Spanish. You should make a video making different Spanish foods and stuff. You have to show me how to make that empanadas. Don't I have to get you know what? You remember I was telling y'all to go to different farmers markets and stuff, international farmers markets. I'm gonna start going to those Mercanados. What they call Mercanados? I think they call it. You are. I know you're Puerto Rican, New York, Puerto Rican. I used to speak Spanish, not fluently, but I spoke it enough. It was that Spanglish that I used to speak when I lived in the Bronx. I was able to speak. I had a lot of. I went to Walton High School. There were a lot of Puerto Ricans, and I was able to speak. It was more Spanglish than anything. Part Spanglish and English. But I miss New York. All those different kind of foods you could eat. And I didn't eat junk food. I wasn't one of those people be running. You didn't really eat junk food in New York. They had a lot of those, pizzeria places. Pizzas was made from scratch. You ain't had to go to Pizza Hut and Domino's and eat the whole pie. You was like one little slice was a very suffice. Jamaican restaurants, those delicatessens with the meats they used to cut and make those. In Philly they call it hoagies, but in New York, I guess it was just regular old subs. And then it had a. It wasn't like public sandwiches. It was like one of little bodegas, and they had all the different. They had Boar's Head, and Boar's Head was not expensive in New York. I don't know what down here in Georgia. They sell Boar's Head at Publix and Kroger. It'll be expensive. I'm like, you order a sandwich, even though it's big, well, it's a good size, but it's like way more expensive here. Whereas if I get a hoagie or a sub sandwich in New York at a bodega, it was a regular 12-inch, it was like a regular, size sandwich. And, I didn't put mayonnaise on there. I didn't eat mayonnaise and stuff. They put too much mayo, and I don't eat mayonnaise. I try to cut down on stuff like that. But they would just put the meat and the cheese, tomato and lettuce was extra. I was like, but you didn't really have to put all that stuff. Yeah, I'm here in Stone Mountain, Georgia, Fanny. Yeah, people in the bodegas in New York and stuff, the Boar's Head was regular meat, and it was like $3 for the sandwich, and if you wanted on a roll, it was $2.75. And if you wanted lettuce and tomato, it was an extra dollar. And even then, you didn't even have to put lettuce and tomato because the cheese and the meat, with mayo or mustard, if you wanted whatever you want on there, would suffice. And it was like $3. Now I don't know how much it is now, but I'm quite sure it's probably not even $10. It's probably less than that. They probably didn't even increase the price because this was 2 years ago when I went to New York and got the sandwich, and it was still that that price. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't expensive. And it was right there in the Bronx. You didn't have to go to Manhattan and stuff to get food. You go right up in the Bronx in the neighborhood and whatever, and that was it. And they had all those different kind of foods you could eat. So people don't know. So most of the convenience stores, I guess you could say, it's mostly by Indian or people from these other countries. Is Marietta a nice city? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he got his parts, but just like any place else, people migrate out of the city and move into these suburbs. So it just depends. It just depends where they. My youngest son did basic training in Fort Benning before deploying to Afghanistan. I have family in Savannah and Macon. In Atlanta. I don't know. It depends. I mean, it's nice, but it's not. I mean, just like anything in Atlanta, everything is congested. Traffic. You know, if you live in there's areas that look a little bit, run down. And then there's some places that's overbuilt. Sometimes places get overbuilt too much and overpopulated with people. I love chicken quesadilla. Well, that's what I call mine. It was a chicken quesadilla. It really, all I did was had a spinach wrap, cut up, put that rotisserie chicken with the cheese and some tomatoes. I could have put some jalapeno peppers and I just put it in that pan and just fold it up. But it wasn't really, but it was like a thick. It probably was more like just a chicken sandwich and cheese and stuff. And I called it a quesadilla, but I'm quite sure it really wasn't. I don't know anything. 75 has always been like that because they be expanding. 75 can go from here all the way to Florida. They always building up. The southeast and the south, they've been building up even in South Carolina. When I go to South Carolina, I'm like, well, god dang, they had this exit over here before. And they always building new exits. They always building up housing. They always building up because people are moving and they just built up all over the place. Well, too bad I didn't eat this. I didn't eat it when I made it, but next time I come on here and I make something, I'm gonna show y'all what I made. Sometimes I be forgetting that I have certain things in that refrigerator. I was like, wait a minute, I got this spinach wrap. Let me try to make something with it. And that's when I said, you know what? Let me make a little quesadilla with this chicken. Chop that chicken up and just put it in this wrap. That dang rotisserie chicken at the Camp Farmers Market is so tasty. You could taste. It's not like some of these other places that be like everything at the Camp Farmers Market. I even saw that when they came they make everything: bread, bagels, cookies, even the delicatessen area. They make everything from scratch. Like you say, you want like some kind of guacamole. They make that from scratch. Everything they use, all those vegetables. Yeah. Yep, it was $10, $9.99. And it was a good size. It wasn't like some, and there's no it's not what is it I'm trying to say with the chicken? Hormones. You know, like when you get chicken, it has, sometimes you get chicken from those warehouses. They have all those hormones and all those chemicals type of stuff. You know, when if you ever look at the chicken and you go to the store, they got the label and they said, it of all these different chemical names all over it with the, everything they have there. The spices are made from scratch. The baking areas from scratch. Everything they use. I got my little pantry stockpile built up. It's I got a freezer too. I remember I tell you I bought a freezer. So when I bought me some leg quarters, it was $6 and some change. 20 pounds of chicken leg quarters I bought a couple weeks ago. Almost 2 weeks ago. I bought that. It was at Kroger's. And I said, ooh. I said, let me grab this. I said, let me grab this because it ain't gonna be this price. And I gotta put it right in the freezer. And I already had 2 whole chickens from when I went to the food bank. It was a few months ago. And I said, 3 people. And then it was whole chicken. This was months ago. They don't give out that no more. I was like, dang. And it was those whole chickens. And what else I got? I think I got a good little pile of things served up. And I bought those turkey wings, those turkey legs. Not turkey legs, those turkey wings. That's what I went to the Camp Farmers Market to get. Spices and turkey wings. And I end up getting 6 whole big pieces, which is enough. And then I may get some more in the next couple of weeks. Because of course, I'm not gonna buy food and not cook it. I'm buying it to cook to eat. And it's gonna be going up, and ain't no question about that. especially turkey and anything related to Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas holiday. They already, someone in England on their YouTube channel said that there was shortages of turkey and stuff in England, and they said that in the United States, we celebrate Thanksgiving, that there were gonna be shortages, and that makes sense. If there's shortages on chicken, and they're gonna be surely shortages on turkey. See, right now, the mass production of turkey and all the weather issues and stuff like that, they may not have. They already said uncooked. What do you mean? How you keep uncooked beans? You just put it in your pantry. You just put it in your pantry, or just buy one of those containers on the Dollar Tree and put them in a jar. I mean, it depends how big is the bag. If it's in a bag, it's gonna stay on the shelf. Uncooked beans, you can just keep it in the pantry, right up on that shelf. I got some beans that I have in this. I keep those plastic containers, so sometimes, um, and I'm starting to keep those glass jars because those mason jars are shortages too. Finding mason jars is going to be hard to find at some point too. So I said, you know what? If you have a container that got the lids, or you go to Dollar Tree, you could put your beans in that, or just keep it in a bag and put them in the pantry. I'm gonna show y'all my pantry tomorrow when I show. I'm gonna show y'all my pantry setup. I have all my little stuff in order. When I cleaned up my pantry the other day, last week sometime, I have all my foods lined up. I got the containers, and I put certain things in that, and I have the That's what I was saying. I'm gonna go to Van Dam because they have big beans, different all these different beans. And I was like, man, these are good prices. It was like 5 pounds, 10-pound bags of beans, and it was like $3 and some change. It was very inexpensive compared to looking for a small bag of beans that was, higher. I was like, shoot, this is an unkept secret. You go to those Korean or Mexican or international farmers markets, and you buy your beans and staples like that, and it's not always going to be Goya. You ain't going to see the name brand that you see in the store. You'll see other brands, and it'll be big. Matter of fact, my next grocery haul, even though I did spend a lot of money at the Cab Farmers Market, $76, so I have a budget for the month. So I'm gonna buy some. I'll buy me a couple more things for this month. It's almost a half a month of September, so I haven't really did a lot of grocery shopping, but for this month. So I'm gonna buy me when I go to Van Dam, I'm gonna buy me some beans, like big beans. I got canned long term in cases of water, pasta, cause things very ain't very good looking. Yeah, that's true. But Shelly, did I answer your question about the uncooked beans? You don't have to take it out the bag. You can leave it and make sure you just put it in the pantry. hmm I need more bottled water. I bought me 2 cases of bottle. I bought me 2 cases of water, and I only drank 2 bottles from the case because I've got me that water dispenser, which I still have not taken out the box. I still didn't take that 5 gallon jug and take it down to the Publix and fill it up, which is $1.75. I was like, how the hell they went up? You know what I'm talking about? Those dispensers, the thing you put on the top of the machine. I got one of those. I did not take it out the box yet. I had that thing for a couple months and still haven't used it. Yeah, you can put them in Ziploc bags, but I bought Ziploc bags too because that's something good to have when you start to freeze, when it's time to freeze vegetables, especially if I get some beans this coming fall in the garden. I planted the lima bean 2 days ago, so I'm going to see if it's going to produce any beans. What? Then you don't need to buy cases of water because the only reason why I bought cases of water because it's good to have. Because I got it, one is in the car in the trunk, and the other one is in the pantry. But I'm gonna get that 5 gallon jug and fill it up tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure I get it because I keep forgetting it. And I said, God dang it, I didn't bring the water jug. I was gonna stop by the grocery store and fill it up. So tomorrow I'm gonna make sure I bring my water, that 5 gallon water, and fill it up. There ain't gonna be no shortage of water, not like that. You could buy. They're always gonna have that water thing, and people ain't gonna be a shortage on those machines, and it's gonna go up in price. And people gonna they ain't thinking about other ways you could have water. So I would just fill up water with the jugs and just go there and have those gallon jugs and have that big 5 gallon jug, and I'm gonna start filling my water up like that. And people also say buy a water filter. Ain't nothing wrong with that water coming out of that filter, out of that tap, and just put a and buy a water filter. But I haven't bought a water filter because I wanted to change. I get the water from my refrigerator. If I want to drink some water, I just get the water from that water because it got a filter. When I disperse water from the refrigerator, and I drink that. When y'all see me, that's what I made my lemonade. It was made right from that dang refrigerator. It was limited before. It's limited in New Jersey now. 2 cases. Yep, it's limited here too. When I went to Sam's Club to do my assignments, and I go to different stores, it says limited. I don't think Aldi said there was a limit yet, but I don't drink purified water. When they said purified water, I don't buy that. I said that ain't nothing but ain't nothing but tap water. I would buy spring water, but I don't buy purified water from the case. I bought those 2 cases a couple weeks ago. It was spring water. If it was t- if it was purified water, why would I want to do that when I could go ahead and I said, why would I buy something that says that? It ain't nothing but tap water in a bottle, in a plastic. All that do is just create it just, all that plastic and stuff, it just creates me having to recycle all those bottles and stuff. So I just use my little, those little water bottles sometimes. I just fill it up like tomorrow when I make my lunch and snacks. Make my fill that water bottle thing up with the water and take that with me to work. That way I don't have to buy no water at the machine, and I could bring my water bottle and fill it up. Go to that little water dispenser thing they got, and then because you have to keep hydrated while you're working, standing up all night and stuff. But it gonna be something else. Some people say spring water is dirtier than purified, but you know, ain't got money for alkaline water. Besides, you can put lemon and lime will alkalize water. Will alkalize water. That ain't nothing but a gimmick. People say, well, you can buy alkaline water. I used to buy alkaline water at the Cab Farmers Market when it was at 99 cents. I'll buy that. But um, but I think lemon and lime alkalines water naturally. So I don't really fall for that. Oh, we got the alkaline water. I would do that because it's supposed to, good for a detox. But lemon alkalines water naturally. That little pH, you have to be careful about the pH of the alkaline waters because if you drink water that's too alkaline, your body you develop kidney stones and stuff. And I don't know what black water is. Water is water is water. When it's all said and done, it all comes from the same source. It all depends on when it flows through the system. If it goes to the municipalities, they will chlorize or whatever, filter water. When it comes to your kitchen sink and tap, and distilled water and all, that's all. It's all water comes from the same source. But when they filter it and put it up in the bottle or whatever the case may be, that's all it is. I'm just not going to buy purified water when I know that I could get that same purified water. It's probably be more filtered than the ones they sell at the store. But people talk about spring water dirtier, because they thinking still people are still they thinking because they go to a spring out in the mountains and they see, and it's going through the dirt and the rocks and stuff, and the animals drink out of it. Yeah, Blue True. Make you a moderator too. They thinking it's dirty because they thinking because they see the animals and and the whatever drinking from the spring. That's why people think it's dirty because they equate that. But the water, when it hits those rocks, you're welcome. When the water hits those rocks, what you think nature does? It filters the water naturally. Shoot, you go up there, go hiking, and you go somewhere. Let there be a natural disaster, and everybody got to leave their house, and you got to take whatever little thing you could grab, and you got to be out there in the world, and the systems breaks down. All the systems break down. You ever watch this show? It used to be a show that I used to watch on TV. I was watching it on YouTube, and they were saying the end of the earth or the end of the world, and they said what would happen if, and it would show like New York. Oh, it was so scary. What is that name of that show? It would show what if, and then it would show like the New York was going to flooding. So happened that this episode was New York had these major storms of flooding, and how the flooding it had destroyed all those skyscrapers in New York, not the World Trade Center, Statue of Liberty, Central Park was flooded. They say it was like a major flood. Not that flood y'all had a couple of weeks ago, but this was like catastrophic. And they would say how the major flooding in New York, how they had this major wave that just came over New York. It was like almost waves were so big it was almost reaching those skyscrapers, and it would show like a timeline of what would happen if that was to happen, and things like the power line, the power systems, and the things were shut down. It will be running for so many couple years, but after a while, it started showing what would happen. They had all these rats, city sewage rats would come out, evade Central Park all over on the streets and garbage. There was no, because people were not around after a while. the soup, the garbage systems. Nobody was picking up the garbage, and how they said that all these animals came out, and it was interesting. I just can't remember the name of that dang show. Yeah, because the infrastructure in New York is so old that those subway lines, those things are over 100 years old. The subway system needs to be updated. The sewage lines in New York, Philadelphia, a lot of those old cities during colonial times. They said those systems are so old that they haven't been updated in centuries. They've been new. It ain't been updated in centuries. In New York, Philadelphia, all those older cities and stuff. That's why I understand why people going cuckoo crazy over Biden's infrastructure bill that's supposed to fix all of those major things in the next 20 years. I understand people just say they're like, oh, we gonna be too much money. They spending that infrastructure bill is to build those outdated bridges, roads, sewage. Um, I can't remember what the name of the show is, but it was one of those shows that was um I need to look it up. I can't remember the name of the show. It was on the History Channel, and they would just talk about all these different disasters would happen or what would happen, and they had that. They'll show that flooding thing situation. That's for real. They were showing those fires in the west. Hold up, this thing get in there. They were showing those fires up in the west coast and those fires and stuff and those tornadoes and hurricanes, all that. But it was magnified. And they talking about this could happen in the year 2030, 2050, in the future. And I believe that. I really believe, because all these natural disasters that's happening, we're not gonna be here to see all that, thank God, but it's catastrophic. And they anticipate they also had an episode about the North Pole and the climate change and about how if the pole, the North Pole, South Pole start melting, they said how that's changing. They've been keeping track of that for decades and saying how the glaciers and stuff is melting. That's why we're having all these changes in weather now. And it's going slowly. And they said that in the next whatever year they anticipate, it ain't gonna be there. So we don't take care of this earth. God said he will not destroy the earth again with the fires. No, he said he won't destroy the earth with the flooding, but he ain't gonna do it because people are destroying it themselves. They said when they had that shutdown for that short period of time, nation worldwide, they had said the satellites had showed how the smogs and everything looked so clear. It was like that shutdown really had reversed a lot of damaging things in the atmosphere. When they started shutting down, people had to stay home. Nobody had to drive. People had to stay in their house. They said that there was some positive things that came up with nature because of that brief period of time of shutdown. So can you imagine? Can you imagine if they really said, you know what, we're gonna shut down? You ain't gotta go nowhere. Everybody could buy food, stay home, cook. The government gives people $25,000, $30,000 a piece, and and if it was essential, and then only have one person come out, get the essentials, come back home. I don't think it'll be so bad. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think people will be able to sit, relax, you know, all that billions and trillions of dollars and stuff, passing out for stimulus and all that kind of stuff. Give people in the household so much money to be able to survive and just cover basic stuff. Cover your basic needs. If everybody just covered their basic needs, all the other little foolish stuff you don't spend, I think you could really Saharan dust all the way out here messed up my trip in Florida. What? I don't know what Saharan dust is. I didn't know what that is. I never heard that. Saharan dust. When that happened? I ain't read that. But all I know is this. I don't know. What was I going on with this? Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, whatever show that is, I have to look it up. I can't remember the dang name of the show. I know it was 2 months ago. Hmm, I could imagine. I know one thing. Southwest Airlines sent me a notification saying I can now plan trips for next year. Remember that $500 voucher that I had? I'm gonna use it. I was supposed to be looking to see how much it was to go to Hawaii next year, and I'll use my $500 um plane voucher. I was gonna ask y'all what y'all think. Because remember I had that $500 vouchers when I went to New Orleans. I have to remember to use it by next year. And they finally said they had some flights next year from Southwest on some supposedly great deals. So I think I want to, if I could cover my flight to go somewhere, then all I gotta do is focus on hotel, and that's it. I don't want to go to Florida. Too much going on. So I said, you know what? If I'm gonna go somewhere, let me go someplace really good. Someplace I can go on a plane. I've never been to Hawaii. And then some of these discounts that I could get, and then if I get that Southwest Airline credit card, not because I just want to get a credit card, I just, because I know if I apply, because my credit score is like 750, I know I could get me a credit card. They give me those 4,000 points or whatever number of points they said. I could turn around and get me some points and take me a vacation because I ain't gone nowhere. I don't want to go to Orlando. Mm-mm. I went to Orlando with this bitch. She had some kind of thing with her PhD, and somehow she convinced me to go to Orlando. She just wanted me to go because to drive my car and split the hotel because that bitch ain't had no money. And I went to Orlando. It was nice, the weather, but I didn't really see nothing. I mean, I seen some. I didn't go to Disneyland or nothing like that, but no, I don't want to go to Orlando. Yeah, I don't want to go to Orlando. I want to go somewhere like I could really go on a vacation and go to the beach and and experience something. I may go to Antigua or one of those smaller islands. I want to go to Jamaica. I don't want to go to Puerto Rico, even though Puerto Rico is nice, but I don't want to go to Puerto Rico. I don't want to go to Dominican Republic. Even though I haven't been to these places, Puerto Rico, it may be still going through some changes. No, I don't want to go to Dubai. I don't know why people just nope, not going there. Nope, 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 nope. Shelly Shell, nope. There's too much going on in the regions. Just because Afghanistan and all that and all that stuff is squared away and done, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Dubai. Only reason people be running to go to Dubai because they like, oh, we can go shopping. I'm not trying to go to countries just to go shopping. You know, I mean, I would have to buy something very exquisite for my house. And since I'll be planning on moving out of my house and doing the van life, whatever, eventually, I'm not trying to buy something like that because, girl, please, you know, not women are not supposed to be looking for no man. Okay, I'm gonna look at your videos. I want to see that. Women ain't supposed to be running after no man. Trust me, I'm not the one. What did you say your slogan was? Love yourself, something, something. Trust me, I love myself enough to not feel adequate or don't feel that I have to have a man. Nope. Oh, really? I figured that. Now, I think I'm gonna go to Hawaii. I think it's gonna be Hawaii or it's gonna be Antigua or Saint Lucia. It's gonna be one of those Caribbean islands somewhere around that. It's gonna be an island somewhere, tropical, someplace that I could go on a beach. Hmm. Well, I'm looking forward to that, Benny. But I'll let y'all know because see, I got that $500 I need to use, and if I can find me a good price of for a round trip ticket for that price, I'm going. Ain't no point in me holding on to those vouchers and let it expire and don't go nowhere with it. That'll be one less thing. I think I could find a good trip for $500. $500 with hotel. Now I'm not saying it'll be $500 for the hotel and the plane ticket, but if I plan it and I go and plan it right with these trips, even if I have to pay the difference, I'll pay the difference. But if I could find me a flight for $500 somewhere, and then I could go one of those use one of those discounts. Y'all want me to take y'all everywhere, buy y'all groceries, buy y'all wine, buy y'all all that shopping list, Shelly Shell. I read that shopping list. Now y'all want me to take y'all on a trip. I'm gonna take y'all on a trip with y'all when I sit on that plane and show y'all the sights on YouTube. Y'all be right with me virtually watching. Oh, I'm gonna go in 2022, not this year. Now, if I find me a good, you know, if I find me a somewhere to go, a good price in November for my birthday, I'll go. If I could go to any of those islands, and it's like, but see, when I now that I'm going to go back to work at Amazon, I have to plan my schedule around that. But so, but no, it's going to be next year because Southwest Airlines sent me the links with the specials they got for next year. They open it up, so I'm gonna look through it and see what Because Southwest goes to Mexico, and Aruba, and it's certain time of the year too. I got to remember that. Some of these airlines, they go to certain places like the islands and stuff. They go only a certain time of the year because of hurricane season and seasonal, I guess. That's right. Tripping food. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do, Shelly Shell. They sent me the email saying I could plan the trip now for next year, and since I have the vouchers, it ain't like I gotta pay for nothing because I have to use the $500 voucher, and I'm gonna use all nickel, every penny of it too. I got the thing emailed today about the deals, so I'm gonna be looking because I think 2022. If this and please for God, don't let them cancel my trips once I do it too. It better not be. I'll be real pissed, but um I'm gonna plan it not when it's all crowded and nothing like that. They probably have such great deals. Cause I know why Avon hasn't came back on the channel. I called her a couple times. They ain't called me back, no nothing. No phone call back, no kiss my butt, no nothing. They ain't even call. I'm calling to check to see how she doing. I ain't even seen her. Hope she's okay. Because it was around almost around this time next month, no, November, that she came to visit me. It was almost a year that she came to Georgia to visit me. Back in November of last year, she came to visit. That's your gift. SeaWorld show right in your home. Well, thank you, Manny. I would like to see that. But I have my tip jar out too. So, ooh, I need to drink me some more of that lemonade. It's not even real lemonade, too. Up, I've been on here for an hour and 34 minutes. Remember I said I ain't been on here for no 3 hours. I hope she's okay too. I'm gonna have to send her a message. Maybe she'll respond to my email because she sure didn't pick up no phone. I hope she's fine because I ain't heard from her or nothing. Let me see if I still got her email on my email list. Hold on a second. Hmm. I can't remember her email address. It's not her name. I know it's like Pearl Jam or something. I'm gonna call her one more time and see if she answers the phone this time. No, she lives in California. She lives in Palm Springs, California. So I don't know. That's kind of strange for me not to hear from her. Even if she was busy and I called, she would at least call me, even if it's brief. It's 73 degrees, mostly cloudy, it says. I think the hot weather it's not going to be hot anymore. I think it's now going to be kind of cool, and I would say October next month, once the leaf, see, it'll have one. It's been raining so much, I can't even say, ooh, when does it start to rain? That's when the colors of the leaves start changing. But it will have one good, it's been raining almost every day, but it will have one good cool rain, and then it's going to suddenly feel kind of um breezy, like not breezy, but a little bit chilly. Then the leaves are going to start to change. So that big leaf, that big tree in front of my house, y'all seen some pictures. When I take pictures of that tree in my yard, in the front yard, it'll change. This subdivision is real pretty when the fall comes. When I'm driving up the hill to my house, and you see all these different colors, the trees in the subdivision, orange, red. It'll be real pretty when you drive up. And then they got that one big tree in front of my house. That thing would turn colors, and it'll be real pretty. I see y'all. Got that on my Facebook page. Some of the pictures I got. They've been tearing down trees and building up so much. I could tell the difference when I'm on a plane. When I go to Atlanta, come into Atlanta, I could see. I remember when I came to Atlanta back in 1996, and you see all these trees, because Atlanta is in a forest. The city of Atlanta, or Atlanta, is in a forest. It's within a forest, and it has this. It's known to be city of trees. I could tell the difference in the change of all these housing developments and stuff. I was like, well, god dang, this used to be very, foresty. Now, so y'all see the beautiful landscape of Stone Mountain when I go walking again and show y'all the river and the lake and the color of the trees. Yeah, I know. She would at least pop in and say something. Now I don't even see her no more. And Lynn, where are you at? Lynn, you finally came back. I was surprised Lynn came back, but this was earlier during the day when I was on here one time, a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now. I saw Lynn in here. Lynn came back. Lynn, where you at? Lynn, doing your do? She just suddenly popped up out the blue. So I don't see Lynn. Come on back, Lynn. I know sometimes you finally came back, so I don't know. Pete paid to drive. He popped up. There'll be a lot of people popping up in my chat since I came on YouTube Live. So I hope y'all okay. Sally, what you doing? You ain't saying nothing. These nuts, what y'all doing? Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all better say something, because tomorrow night ain't gonna be. I ain't gonna see me here tomorrow night now. Hopefully I don't get too tired when I get off Sunday morning, because I have to do those dang assignments at these Sam's Club. And if I go home and rest, and so I might as well doing when I'm out. So it's gonna be a long night tomorrow night, and when I leave Sunday morning, I'll be after work. I have to go back to Amazon tomorrow night, 6 o'clock p.m. to 6:30 a.m. So y'all not gonna see me tomorrow night, because I can only go on live when I'm on my computer. I don't have enough subscribers to do live on my phone. So y'all won't see me until Sunday evening. Y'all won't see me till Sunday night. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then after that, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, those 3 days, y'all won't see me. Now, until unless I change my schedule or I decide to hang it up with Amazon, that's the only way. But I'm gonna hang in there though. I'm gonna hang in there just a little bit longer. Until it's time for me to go back to work, until TurboTax Intuit, that's in December, and I make my own schedule then. But you know, when you saw Lynn, like last week when it was on here that day, that week ago, yeah, that was about a week. That was last week sometime. Or did you see her on your channel? Yeah, it was nice to see her. Maybe she'll come on. Maybe she'll come on if I wonder. Maybe she'll come on earlier during the daytime because that's when I know that's when she popped up. So, oh, I just applied for the airline credit card. Which one? Southwest Airlines or Delta? Which one, Blue True? You could have waited until I sent you a link. We could have got more points. You know they got those points where if somebody refer you, you get more points than they advertise. Which one you applied to? Which airline? What? Blue True, you could have waited until I sent you the link. Cause I know there's a link. Well, send me the link for the referral from yours. That way we could both get points. But I'm getting that habit of getting that credit card and be using it and then be because I'm not trying to get no credit card just to be like, oh my god, I paid a minimum. I just want to get it so I get those points and then use it and pay it right off. Like the minute no, that's okay. I'm just saying that some of those things has links that you could refer people, or they got it where you could get extra points on gift cards from other different sites for applying, but they may not even have it. I don't know. I don't know if they still do that, but they probably do. I don't know. It ain't no problem because I already have a Southwest Airline account to accumulate points anyway. So I know I have some points from traveling in the past. So I just want to add on to that so I can have enough points to book a hotel or something like that too. But what I would do, I would just use it for gas and stuff like that. Turn around and pay it all off. You ain't trying to get me to pay no minimum. I would use it up. That's what I do with my Chase with the Amazon credit card. I get points from that, and then I use those points to buy something on Amazon or whatever, and that's it. And I have a Capital One card that does the same thing, but I don't really use my Capital One card as much. I don't really try to use. I use the credit when I need to, and just pay it straight off, and that's it. the credit utilization, you use it, you buy it, try to charge something small, and turn around and pay it right off, the whole entire balance, and your credit score could jump up like that. My credit score went to 750. I was like, woohoo! I'm always 100 points from perfect credit. All these years of I never had credit card. I never had credit issues, but I mean, I still got those raggedy student loans and stuff. But um, having credit score like 720, 640. One point, it was when I was really young. It was like 500. I mean, it was like 550. I remember. And this was when the beginning stage when you start getting credit. When you first start getting credit, you don't have a highest credit score, but you have to. Yep, that's what my credit. It went up to 40 something points last month because, like I said, your point. You don't have to. Don't go for that scam people who talk about we can fix your credit. Nobody cannot fix your credit. You do not need to go to these people who be trying to talk about we can fix your credit. No, you cannot. There's no such thing as somebody could fix your credit. You could fix your credit goes up through time. You get a credit card, you use it. You don't have to charge. It didn't say you have to charge thousands of dollars and stuff and do that. You could just, you know, go somewhere, buy it, say, you know what? If you knew you could pay it off, just charge it. When it comes up, then you pay straight off on it. I'm just gonna use my credit card is so I could get points. You get points to buy gift cards, you get points to get trips and stuff. That's why. But and I even have a credit thing with PayPal. I don't even use it. I'm sitting there, this thing sitting right on the floor, PayPal. And I think I've used it once for something, especially like hotels. You know how you go to use it for a hotel and stuff? And you say, okay, you know what? I'm taking a trip somewhere and you charge it to the hotel because some of them have insurance. Like, how they said, oh, do you want insurance on your car or you do a rental car? You know that it comes with a $10,000 policy on some of those credit cards that you don't have to buy a rental car insurance. It's already on the credit card. It's already part of your credit card. If you read it, it tells you, it tells you. And one thing I'm for sure, I'll make sure I get that travels insurance. I'll make sure if they have travel insurance with the credit card before I get it and get travels insurance. So when I go to Hawaii or Antigua or whatever I'm decided to go to, because say you get the COVID or you get sick traveling, all the medical is covered, all the hotel, and you got to get stuck. So if I get stuck somewhere and they say, oh, we won't be traveling, you're going to be stuck. I ain't going to be sitting at no airport. I'll be right there in the hotel with my insurance, living it up. So make sure when you go on a trip, please get travels insurance. It don't cost that much. It's like $100, $150 or something for travels insurance. So that way, if there's some major thing happen, shut down or COVID or whatever, you have to have a meetup. I was planning on doing a meetup until all this stuff started happening, and then I never could make up my mind where I wanted to go and wanted to do it where everybody could come and be centralized. You know, maybe the trip that I take this next trip I take next year, maybe I'll make that a meetup. Whoever wants to come, I would do it. I would do it in a good enough advance notice. I don't like flying, so I got triple A. Mm. I'm not crazy about sitting in a car for a long length of time. Ain't nothing wrong with flying. If I do a meetup and I let y'all know and I say, okay, I'm doing this meetup to such and such and such, y'all just have to decide to come together. I would do a cruise, but I don't trust cruises anymore. With all that stuff going on, I would say do a cruise, but people don't know how to act. People don't know how to act. You know, when they did try to open up the cruise line a couple few months ago, somebody already had COVID on one of the ships and stuff. I was like, oh hell, they gotta go back. You gotta take them back home, or to stop somewhere else, and they had to put them on a plane to, you know, when you thought going on a cruise was safe, but then after that happened, I ain't heard nothing more. I ain't heard nothing more from these cruise lines about about anything. I would say we could do I don't have cruise money, maybe paddle boat. Sally, ain't nobody anybody say they ain't got no money. But you know what? If you plan it and budget right, you think I got money? I ain't got money. If I want to go somewhere finally, if it wasn't for that $500 voucher, shoe, I would have to I would have to plan a 2 year. I would have to do something that's find something to do or somewhere to go that's very inexpensive. Even if it's going to Tennessee, and or you could do Amtrak. Amtrak got those packages too. You could go on the Midwest, Rocky Mountains and stuff. They got those train ride trips too. That's supposed to be real fun. Y'all be in spoiled sports. Y'all ain't want to do nothing. I'm gonna have to leave y'all home. Y'all gotta stay home and watch the YouTube do virtual vacation. Shoot, even paddle boats is gonna cost money. They got things like that. See, y'all be laughing about paddle boats, but that's one of an excursions at one of the islands. When you go to some of these islands, paddle when they say paddle boat, that's a excursion thing you could do. We could go to the park and grill or do carowinds or something. Yeah, that's a good thing. Unless y'all plan on coming to Georgia and go right to that park, right up in Stone Mountain Park. What? What fan life girl? Nomadic static. Let me look that up. I ain't heard of her. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me Google that. that? Where y'all seen that at? When did it happen? I ain't heard that one. Is nomadic static? Let me see. Let me put that Google that thing in the name. Or you can put it in the chat and see if you could. I ain't read that. I ain't heard about that. Let me see. Oh. Oh, okay. I did hear about that. Somebody about the fiance came back home without her. I didn't know she was doing the van life. I didn't know. I heard about somebody went on vacation or something, took a trip, and then came back without her. So I did heard about that briefly, but I didn't know she was doing the van life. I just pulled it up. She went to California from Florida with boyfriend. He returned without her. She's missing in Wyoming. Gabby Levito. Mm-mm. Just like that lawyer in South Carolina, that the son and the wife was killed. He's a prominent South Carolina lawyer for decades or generations. And then he said someone shot him on the road in the head, and he turned around. He had hired someone to collect on a $2 million life insurance policy for the son or whatever. And then now they going back to see whether or not um, he had something to do with the killing of the wife and the son a couple months ago prior. Mm-mm. See, I wonder. Yeah, he has something to do with it. Somehow or another, he got something to do with it. How you come back home and she's still missing? Nope. That don't even sound right. How y'all both leave New York and then you come back and she's not there, and then you ain't saying nothing. You not saying nothing. Mm-mm. He did something. Well, he gonna hire an attorney, but it's not. Well, I don't know. That's a hard situation. That's a hard situation because it's like unless he came and they examined the van, did they at least come? Yeah, you was approved for Southwest Airlines. See, you two did a referral. I ain't say nothing. Yeah, Southwest Airlines probably be approving a whole lot of people with all that foolishness they be doing. They be trying to get, because you know there's that annual fee that they charge. So I'm gonna look through it before I apply. Well, did they at least did the van? Did he come back with the van? Because they're gonna have to go and look through that van for evidence and stuff. There's gonna be some clues found in that van, and then those videos being deleted like that. Mm-mm. You know, just because it's deleted, you know they're gonna summon Google. Just because you delete your channel, that don't mean they could go back and retrieve it. It's always there. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Yeah, they're gonna find some clues in that van. They're not gonna say it in the news. So there's everything they can't keep. They can't be telling us everything. But they're gonna retrieve those videos. Just because it's deleted, you could delete a channel, they could retrieve the channels. Well, that sure brings a good thing. Cause I surely don't want to be going alone doing stuff like that and be missing. That's what See, now people are gonna be, what? You're not doing that van life. You see what happened to that girl was missing. There, people trying to deter you from doing it. But I guess that's anything could happen. What? You never buy rental insurance. I follow her channel for long. She traveled all. When you watch her videos, did you see the boyfriend in the videos too, or was he just like, or did he just come on more recently? Did they start it out together from the beginning, or was it like she was traveling and then he that he later on jumped along and came along? Because I can't see how you go with somebody and you come back home. If did he come back in the van without her or something? I don't know. Mm. The parents know something. The parents could tell. They gonna have to interview the parents and see what was going on. Domestic violence, or was he one of those creepy people, possessive? The parents, they gonna know something. Whatever it is, they know something. Something like that. You just can't. Um, mm, I sure hope they was able to find her. Maybe she got lost or something. Yep. Whatever comes in the dark will come to light. I hope maybe she just had to get away from him, and she found someone else and stuff. She was hitting him. I think he was the abused person in the relationship, according to the police body cam. Yeah, but she probably was hitting him, but I'm quite sure if she was hitting him, she was fighting back. And he probably, they say, let's go to Rocky Mountains, and probably went to some secluded place area and pushed her down or pushed her where they couldn't find her. That's why they probably deleted those channels. That last video or whatever video that was made days before she was missing, they're gonna show where they were at. They're gonna say they were this place, they were here, blah blah blah. Cause everything you do in that video, that IP address on YouTube will show your location. They could go from that IP address and they could say where they were. They could pinpoint any place wherever you are in the world. They're gonna say, oh, they was at this such and such campground, this such and such place, and the last video was made on such and such date and such time, and they could probably know exactly where she is from that. So trust me, they're gonna get a hold of Google and get a hold of that video, and from that video they're gonna see where it was streamed, when was her last video made. And that's gonna tell a whole lot. So don't be surprised. They have forensic digital of finding anywhere of anybody. That's why I was watching that dang people who be doing the doxing and all that stupid stuff on that B sector, that dumb sector. I don't know if any one of y'all are familiar with these group of people. Be doing some crazy stuff. Sometimes people take it too far. And trust and believe, I probably would have been in that situation with that crazy person. I know y'all know who I'm talking about. Well, Sally, I can't even explain to you. It's this bunch of people on YouTube. They say the beef sector, and they dox each other. They just, they get on YouTube and be carrying on about people. Ooh, you don't want to get into that rabbit hole. Trust me. Oh, he took the phone. Even if you don't have the phone, you don't have to have the phone. Even if that phone, that phone was in the van, all they have to do is get the phone records. All they're gonna do is go to whoever she got, T-Mobile, whomever, and they just gonna get the phone records. And from the phone records, they could show from the phone records the calls that were made, videos that were made. Even if she made that video on the phone, all you gotta do is subpoena the company, and they could tell you from the last ping on the towers that they were using. That phone is nothing more than a mini computer in your hand. You know how many times they don't be having a phone? They don't have the phones, and they say, okay, they get the phone records, and they go through that phone records, and they see all that things on that phone records will show the towers that was pinged from. And it shows from there where they were. They're going to get their phone records. That's why he's going to get a lawyer. They're going to subpoena the records. They're going to subpoena phone records and everything. They're going to get all that stuff. Trust me. He ain't going to need to talk, because they're going to get that phone records, and that phone record's going to be pinged, and it's going to show where that last cell phone use was at, the date, the time, the location, and they're going to send up those, and wherever it is location is, they're going to go right there in that area, and they're going to scout, they're going to um, search whatever area. I've heard cases where they found bodies in the woods, in the deepest of deepest. It might be a year later or months later. They'll find it. They will find it. Well, it's gonna take a minute to get those records. So it's gonna take a minute to get the phone records and get that and trace that towers where it's pinged from. And it's gonna take a minute to get the video from Google of her channel. So it's gonna take a minute to get that. But once they get those are the two main things they're gonna be looking, they're gonna get. That YouTube video channel that was supposedly deleted, which is not. That thing stays on the end. That thing stays. Just because you deleted it, that don't mean it's gone. And that phone, that's gonna show that when you use their phone for anything, it has a ping from a tower from where you are, and they're gonna say, "Oops, this tower, this phone, her phone, pinged last, or the last phone call that was made in this area, and that was the last time that phone was used." And then the video, you know, it ain't. See, a lot of people. I don't think people realize technology. I don't think so. I don't think people realize that. So young, very sad. Exactly. You gotta be real careful. Let me see here. If I click on this link, it's gonna let me leave the chat. I'll copy and paste. Oh, I've been on here for 2 hours. I said I was not gonna be on here for hours like I was before. All right, y'all. I'm about to go to bed. I'll just look at the video and read up on it. But I'm so sorry that happened to a young girl too. Oh, the reason why I ain't got no super chats is because I don't have the requirements on YouTube. You have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So that's why I don't have no super chats. Yes, I am. I'm not staying up here all night. You know I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta do get myself ready, cook my lunch slash dinner, which is the salmon patties and steamed broccoli and banana or whatever snacks I need to pack up because I got a long day, 12 hours. 12. I have a protein shake. It's too late to be drinking a protein shake at this time of night. I'm gonna start doing my protein shakes and stuff again for this fall. I got me plenty of frozen fruit and banana. I'm gonna start doing my smoothies and stuff again. start doing my little walks in the park so I could control my sugar and diabetes and control that. I hope I don't be in no pain tomorrow, because if I feel pain tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I don't know what to do. I mean, I can still keep taking that glipitine, and I need to start walking and doing my bike. These nuts, you always be talking out the tone with everybody else. Mhm. If you have a plan, you should not work at Amazon. Well, I don't have to work at Amazon because, like I said, it does have my. It is part of my plan. So until I go back to work, I'm looking for something else though. But I'm supposed to be going to that training classes and stuff. They're supposed to start with generation. Hmm. I ain't got no quesadilla. It's something that you have to make, Vanny. Maybe I can make. You know what? I do have some mango juice that I bought from the farmers market. It's 100% mango juice, and that Vitamix said it could make ice cream from it. I'm gonna test that out. I'm gonna make me a mango ice cream with the Vitamix. Yep, no trolls tonight. They got put to the blockchain. You know what? I'm gonna make me a mango ice cream with the Vitamix with that juice I got. On 800 tonight, they probably if I was on here till 1, 2, 3 in the morning, they probably would have popped up then. Good night, Vanny. Nice for subscribing. And I'll go ahead and watch for the video with the dolphins. Y'all go ahead and visit Vanny's channel too. She's a good person. Nice idea, what? Mango ice cream on the Vitamix? Okay. All right. I'll be looking forward to it. Ooh, this is buzzing in my ear. You could go ahead and make some Puerto Rican food too. Make some of that Spanish rice. Mhm. I need some good ideas to cook, especially when I buy my I do have some beans, but I want to make some ethnic Spanish rice or something. Even though that's not fattening. I mean, it depends how you make it. And you got to make a whole bunch of. All right, y'all. I'm going to bed. Also, compolo, chicken and rice. That's what I call it. Also, compolo. Mhm. Am I saying it right? Cause I don't want that fake stuff. You gotta have some of these things they be making little packs, And they said, "Oh, you can make it," and they have all those chemicals in the package rather than seasoning it from scratch, like real garlic powder, real paprika, real spices. Because you don't ever have to eat meat all the time. At least I don't have to eat meat. If you eat beans and rice, arroz con pollo, say it Spanglish. Arroz con pollo. Arroz con pollo. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. I'm going to bed now. I'm gonna tell y'all the story next time about how I know Jennifer Lopez from back in the day when I was at Baruch College in New York. She's from the South Bronx. Even though I went to high school, it was located in the South Bronx. I didn't live in the South Bronx. I'm gonna tell y'all the story of how I knew Jennifer Lopez back in the day before she was famous and way before she was a fly girl um, on that show, the Wayne Brothers. That show, she was a fly girl dancer in the background at first. And how I was like, "What? You gonna be on what show?" And now look, I'll tell y'all that story. That's a whole new story. We was a freshman in college, and okay, well, it ain't a long story, but it just got me thinking. Every time I remember, when I was like, "Oh my God," just imagine if I was going out there to be one of those fly girl dancers and went there to the audition. It was in the background. Ain't no telling what I could have been. You'd be surprised how people be going to high school with certain people back in the day, and and you be knowing them when they be real young, and then everybody go their separate ways, and next thing you know, you be looking up like, "What?" I said, "I remember when." Mm. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Let me go ahead and lay down. Go on to bed. You boring A Rod. I don't know. I don't know why she keep going back to band and going back to band now. Who knows? Hopefully she find love, but I don't know. Who knows? Trust me. I'll be shocked and surprised if she does decide to finally marry Ben. If she marries him, I'll be shocked. Maybe she will settle down for once. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Anywho, y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all Sunday night. And wish me luck on my first day at Amazon. Oh, I never talked about the damn retirement plan as a gig worker. Oh well, I'll talk about that another day. That way I could at least share some information and go about that. But anywho, all right, Manny, Shelly Shell, D's Nuts, Blue True, Sally. Sally, you didn't talk a whole lot. What happened? I didn't forget about you. Deidre, if you on here, um, all the rest of y'all that's not on here, y'all have a good night. Talk to y'all tomorrow night. Well, not tomorrow. Talk to y'all Sunday night. Alrighty. Good night. Oh, you working? Working and listening. Oh, okay. I was wondering. I'm like, where happened to Sally? Wow. I've been on here for 2 hours now, 2.5 hours. So let me go. I'll talk to y'all Sunday. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.